Blacksheep Modding have provided early access for their John Deere 40 series, and today I'm going to show you everything you need to know.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
These tractors were introduced in Farming Simulator 19, and they came back in Farm Sim 22 with a vengeance. They added some new stuff as well, and now they're back in Farm Sim 25 and are better than ever. Included in the pack, we have 6 different models, but really at the end of the day, there's only 3. The first 2 are identical in every single way, with one exception. One's 4-wheel drive, one's a 2-wheel drive. The next 2 models, again, same thing here. You've got an open cabin with a 4-wheel drive and 2-wheel drive. Then you get into the L, and again, you've got the 4-wheel drive and 2-wheel drive. There is no open cabin L version. I do want to give Blacksheep Modding a big shouty outy for sending these over to take a look at and show you ahead of their release. So check them out, link down below. So one of the good things is between the first 4 models, so excluding the L series, customization options are literally exactly the same, except for one thing. And you probably guessed it. It's the cabin. The cabin is the different thing. So in here, we're actually going to see it as beacons, and this is where everything's going to be, versus in the open cab version, it's going to be called cabin style. Because yes, you can add a few things in. As you can see, we even get some warning lights in there. And yes, they go blinky blinky. In total, we have 5 options for engines. We're going to find 3 of those in the first 4 models. So in here, we can take a look. We've got the 4040, the 4240, and the 4440. Those are going to range 112, 124, and 146 horsepower, all of which going 19 miles per hour. Now in the larger L version, we're still going to be going 19 miles an hour, but we have the 4640 as well as the 4840. That does provide a lot more power, 174 horsepower, so almost a 30 horsepower jump. And then the 4840 up to 203 horsepower, 60 horsepower jump over the 4440. 57, whatever. All models are available with EU and US options. By default, you are going to find that they are EU, but to be fair, the guys that make the mod Blacksheep Modding, they're based in Europe. So it just is what it is. Starting off with front weights, we have a 60 kg weight, which is just going to be nothing. Then we can do a 240, 400, and 560. We can go higher on the L versions, which I will show you a little bit later on. Plus, we have the 3-point on there, which is very nice. Engine options we already talked about. We have multiple different wheel brands, including Trelleborg, Continental, Midas, BKT, Vredestein, Michelin, which is out of order, Nokian, and finally John Deere, which I think is a Firestone set. Looks like a Firestone set to me anyway. Now in here we do have some pretty cool setups. So you've got your standard US, your rear twins, a different set of rear twins which are open in the middle. Same thing for a full set of twins at the front. You got forestry chains, dual forestry chains, and some wide tires. Very cool. This is so chunky. And one of the cool things is, if we jump down to forestry, we do have a forestry add-on for all the tractors. Looks exactly the same for all of them. So you could just add that on if you would like. We've got a full kind of cage around to the side and the back. The front is open, which can be a little bit dangerous, but we do have those bars running down. So you are good to go. As I mentioned, we do have EU and US tire setup. So as you can see there, we had a couple EU sets. Here's a couple US sets. And then we just have some like standard sets. So you got like a standard, wide, rear twins, twins all the way around, narrows, narrow rears, narrow duals, wheel weights, which are wide, and then back to a standard set. So you do have not only the ones you would expect to see, but also the US and EU dedicated setups. That's pretty cool, especially for somebody like me who I play on both US and EU maps, and it's nice to have one mod, but it does everything, even though I pretty much have all the mods downloaded anyway. I think for this one, it's pretty cool to see the John Deere standard set right here for the 4-wheel drive. Now we get into design configurations. This is going to have to do with our exhaust as well as our front fenders and some lights which are added around. So we go from EU1 to EU2, and that's just going to add front fenders. EU3 is going to change up our exhaust, and then EU4 removes those front fenders. So really it's 2 exhausts and fenders of yes or no. Then we bop around to US, and this is going to add a couple extra things, including lights on the back and that tractor triangle. Then we get our front fenders. Then it changes the exhaust. Then it removes the front fenders. Then it changes the exhaust again. And then it adds the... You get what I'm saying? Smell what I'm stepping in? It is a couple different things, but it's all in there. Then beacons, of course, as we mentioned, you've got your beacons here. So design 1, this is just going to be kind of like a turn signal style type of light. Then we got beacon options. Design 4, warning. This is where it is. So this is where you're going to get your blinky blinky if you go to warning. Forestry, we already talked about. This is all but I think one front loader setup. So with your front loaders here, you do have the base game John Deere, Hauer, and Quickie, but we also have another John Deere set here. This is from EY Modding, the John Deere 148, 158 front loaders. I can't remember if those are out yet or not. I know that they are with Giants, but it's been a little while since we heard from EY. Nonetheless, they will work with those, or you can go with the MX, which is very cool. Those are also licensed for all platforms, and there's an MX front loaders pack on ModUp right now, which you can go download. Of course, license plate if that's something that you're into. So let's jump over to the two-wheel drive rather here. So we can chunk that up to a 4440, which I don't know if you noticed, but it also changes a few things around towards the inside, including our exhaust and our headers, I guess, and the air intake. Configurations are the same, wheels the same, everything literally is the same except for those cabin styles. So design 1 is just fully open. Design 2 is going to add your headache rack right through there. Design 3 gives us some beacons. Design 4 just puts a cabin over top. 5 is going to be the cabin with some beacons. Design 6 is going to give us some extra lights, and then all through. And then finally, the last one is going to give us our warning lights. So we do have an open cab with flashers on top, which is very, very cool. Here's what forestry looks like if you go with that. And if we go up, we'll do the cabin style of just nothing. That's what it looks like with an open cab with the forestry look. It's quite unique, but kind of neat. I don't know, I'm digging it. The last model to take a look at is the 40 Series L. And shocker, I'm sure, but all options are the same. But I did say that we had a bigger weight setup. So here we have 360, 600, and 840 kgs. We've also got a 3-point, so that is really, really nice. Boom, good to go through there. Of course, we talked about the big engines, wheel brands, wheel setups, designs, all that's exactly the same. The forestry one is longer, but that's the only difference through there. And everything else is the same. So here we've got the 4440, the one that you guys saw at the very, very beginning. We can kind of poke around, take a look, see all of the really nice details that Blacksheep Modding have added in here. Of course, it's always nice to see all the little components, everything going, even stickers. Can we see this one pretty good? I think I can zoom in on it a little bit. Maybe a little bit blurry, but I don't think they were expecting anybody to zoom in on a warning sticker from a tractor that was out from 1978 to 1982. These you can read very well, though, so there you go through there. So we've got the John Deere tire setup with the rear duals and the narrow front. She's a good sounding tractor, I tell you what. Take a look at everything on the inside. As we turn it on, all of our gauges come to life. Most of them actually work, which is very cool. We've also got up there on the right-hand side our RPMs. And whenever we turn everything kind of going forwards, backwards, doing the stuff that you need, we have our group setups here. This would probably be a little bit easier to show if I didn't have it set in automatic. But I guess that just kind of is what that is. It does move very well. It doesn't lurch forward or jump back. They've done a very good job with the setup there. And then if we turn it off, our throttle actually comes down. And then it raises up slowly when you turn the tractor back on. I don't know. I just think that's pretty cool. Over in the larger one, so this is actually the smaller end of the 4640. We turn that on. We are going to get a little bit of a different sound. We get a beep inside. But everything else runs the same. All of our stuff, everything's pretty normal. You can see there we got the blinky blinkies. So I'm curious. Oh, we got a click sound inside this one. So they've actually changed up the interior sounds between the two. That's kind of cool. And then as far as animations go, I'm going to show you guys these as well. There's only one set of animations. You can see there we've got some new pictures in blue up at the top. We've got right stick up and down and right stick left and right. So if we go left or right with it, we're going to be opening up our door. Boom. And if we go up and down with it, we're going to be opening up that rear glass. I'm curious. Doesn't sound like it gets any louder. There's only been 1 or 2 modders that have ever done that. I wasn't expecting it here, but you know, I kind of wanted to see it. It is what it is. Whew. Thing's lit up like a Christmas tree. Not sure if it's obvious if I'm partial to a 2-wheel drive setup with rear duals or not. Can you tell? So there you go. That is your early preview and customization, stuff like that, of the John Deere 40 series for Blacksheep modding. I do want to thank them for sending this over again. I'll leave a couple links down below if you guys want to check them out and see some of the other stuff they are up to. This is only one of the mods that they've sent me, so there will be more previews coming, so make sure you guys keep an eye out for that. Get subscribed if you're new, that way you don't miss those videos. I'm sure you still got a couple questions about this mod, so if you've got those questions, please let me know down below. Otherwise, I hope you have an awesome day. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.